If you're planning a Walt Disney World trip in 2026, this video is your roadmap to the biggest rides, events, and changes coming across all 4 parks and Disney Springs. I'm also going to flag the few big closures you'll want on your calendar, so you can prioritize what to do now versus what to save for later. Before we jump to 2026, let's quickly rewind to the biggest Disney World stories of 2025 that set the stage for what's next. Magic Kingdom finally got a brand new nighttime parade with Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, which instantly became a must-do because it changed how people plan their evenings and exit strategy. EPCOT's test track came roaring back with a refreshed experience, which mattered because it restored a major headliner to the park's ride lineup after a long downtime. Hollywood Studios added new stage show energy with The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure and Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, which gave that park more non-ride capacity and more reasons to stay later. Animal Kingdom said goodbye to It's Tough to Be a Bug and welcomed Zootopia Better Zoogether, which was a big signal that the park is leaning harder into modern IP while keeping the Tree of Life Theater as a centerpiece. And behind the scenes, 2025 was also the year Disney started putting real dates on major refurbishments and re-themes that will define the 2026 trip experience. Now, let's look ahead to 2026, and I'm going to go item by item so you can build a real plan instead of just hearing headlines. Let's start at Magic Kingdom with Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, because this is one of those rides where small changes can massively impact the fun factor. Space Ranger Spin has been a Tomorrowland staple for decades, and it's also one of the most re-rideable attractions in the whole resort because every run is a competition. The ride's core hook is simple, which is exactly why it works, because you can understand the goal in 5 seconds and then spend the rest of the ride trying to beat your own score. Disney is refreshing the ride with upgrades aimed directly at things fans complain about most, like inconsistent targeting and the feeling that the ride has aged. Disney has said this update includes a new show scene, updated ride vehicles, and improved blasters and targets, which should make the gameplay feel cleaner and more modern. If you're the type who rope drops this ride or uses it as a repeat late-night lap, this is the kind of update that can turn a once-per-trip attraction back into a let's-do-it-again attraction. Planning tip for 2026 is to watch for how Disney handles crowds here, because refreshed classics often draw a surprise wave of "I need to see it" demand. Staying at Magic Kingdom, we have a true classic returning with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and this is the kind of reopening that can reshape crowd flow in Frontierland. Big Thunder is one of those rides that's beloved partly because it's a thrill ride that most families can still do together, so it sits in a sweet spot of wide appeal. It's also a ride with deep lore, because every rockwork and piece of set dressing is telling the story of a runaway mine train in a cursed mountain town. When Big Thunder is down, you feel it, because the park loses a major people eater and Frontierland gets noticeably more congested around other attractions. Disney has said Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will reopen in spring 2026, which is great timing because it puts a major headliner back online before peak summer crowds. Big Thunder returning is one of the biggest quality of day improvements in this entire video. And if you're a fireworks family, Big Thunder at night is a totally different vibe. So a return in 2026 is also a win for those late evening plans. Now let's jump to EPCOT for Frozen Ever After, because this one has a huge fan base and also a very specific history that matters to why this update is such a big deal. Frozen Ever After is still one of the most debated ride swaps in Disney World history because it replaced Maelstrom, which had a loyal following and a totally different tone. Disney made the change because Frozen was a cultural event, and EPCOT needed more capacity for families who wanted character-driven rides in World Showcase. Since opening, the ride has stayed popular largely because its trackless feeling, even though it isn't, with clever movement, a strong soundtrack, and a mix of calm and thrill moments. In February 2026, Disney is bringing new audio animatronics to Frozen Ever After. And the reason that's exciting is that modern animatronics can dramatically change how live scenes feel. Disney has connected this upgrade to new technology developed for the world of Frozen in Hong Kong, which hints that EPCOT is getting a noticeable step forward in figure quality. Now we're going to stay at EPCOT for something that will instantly create headlines: Soarin' across America. Soarin' started as a love letter to California, And when it came to Florida, it became one of EPCOT's signature big experience attractions almost overnight. Then Soarin' Around the World changed the identity of the ride because it shifted from regional nostalgia to global tourism, and that brought both fans and critics. In 2026, Disney is debuting Soarin' Across America, as Disney frames the year as a major celebration year in the United States. Disney has said Soarin' Across America will debut by Memorial Day 2026, which makes it a prime summer headline for EPCOT. The practical reason this matters is that Soarin' is a ride that attracts both first-timers and locals, so new film content can spike demand in a way that surprises people. If you're planning EPCOT days in late spring or summer 2026, you should assume Soarin' will run hotter than usual and plan your lightning lane strategy accordingly. And if you're traveling with someone who's not a ride person, Soarin' is often the perfect compromise attraction, so a new version is a strong selling point for mixed groups. Now, let's talk Hollywood Studios, because 2026 is going to be a major year for the park's lineup. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith has been one of the defining thrill rides of the park since the late 1990s, and its indoor launch still feels intense even today. The ride works because the premise is pure Hollywood fantasy, where you're suddenly in a high-speed limo racing through neon LA to make a concert on time. Disney has confirmed the last day to ride Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is March 1st, before it transforms and reopens as a Muppets version in summer 2026. The Muppets are a smart match for this ride system because chaotic comedy pairs perfectly with high-speed motion and loud music. If the Aerosmith version is a bucket list item for your trip, you'll want to prioritize it early in 2026. If you're a Muppets fan, summer 2026 becomes a very tempting time window, because new overlays often come with fresh pre-show elements and brand new details to spot. Quick interruption before we go deeper into this rundown. If this video is helping you plan your 2026 trip, please hit like and subscribe because I have a ton of helpful Disney World content in the works. Now, let's stay in Hollywood Studios and talk about one of the most interesting developments of 2026, because it blends nostalgia, park history, and brand new experiences. Disney is bringing back the magic of Disney animation as a new experience, and longtime fans will recognize that name as a major part of the old studio-era identity of this park. Back in the day, that area sold the illusion that you were visiting a working animation studio, which gave the park a personality that was totally different from the IP-heavy park it is now. In 2026, the magic of Disney animation returns with a new approach and a place to see and feel the craft of animation again. The key story here is that Hollywood Studios has been ride-forward for years, so adding more walkthrough and discovery experiences can improve how the park feels during peak crowds. Disney has also announced Off the Page as a new experience, which is themed around stepping into the world of animation and exploring the process in a more hands-on way. Disney has described it as a playful space built around different departments, which suggests this will be part exhibit and part interactive exploration. Then there's Drawn to Wonderland, which is a new playground inspired by Mary Blair-style concept art. A well-designed playground can reset your whole day because kids burn energy while adults get a few minutes to breathe without standing in a line. Disney has said these new experiences open later in summer, so if your trip is late summer or fall, this could be a major new family break zone inside studios. Now we're heading to Galaxy's Edge, because the biggest new content headline of 2026 might be the new Smuggler's Run mission, featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu. Smuggler's Run is already a unique attraction because it assigns roles, so your ride is affected by how your whole party plays the game. It's also an attraction that rewards repeats, because once you understand the roles, you can try to improve your performance and make the run feel smoother. Disney has announced a new mission storyline featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is a smart move because that duo is one of the most recognizable modern Star Wars hooks. Disney has said this new Smuggler's Run mission debuts on May 22nd, which gives fans a very clear target date for summer planning. For enthusiasts, this is exciting because it suggests Disney is treating Smuggler's Run as an updatable platform rather than a one-and-done attraction. And if you love Galaxy's Edge theming, new missions can also mean new dialogue, new visuals, and new reasons to pay attention to details you used to ignore. Now on to Animal Kingdom for one of the most family-friendly events of the coming year. Disney has announced that Bluey and Bingo are coming to Rafiki's Planet Watch at Conservation Station in summer 2026. Bluey is a modern kid classic, and the reason it fits Animal Kingdom is that the show is built around play, imagination, and family dynamics. This is a big deal because Rafiki's Planet Watch is one of the park's most underrated areas, and adding a major kid draw can change how many families make the trip out there. The Wildlife Express train already makes that area feel like a mini-adventure, which is great because kids feel like they're going somewhere special. Bluey can become a high-emotion moment for families in a park that sometimes skews older with its attractions. Planning tip is to treat this as a midday reset option in 2026 because it pairs well with the heat and gives you something air-conditioned and kid-focused. Animal Kingdom in 2026 is also going to be defined by one of the biggest closures at Walt Disney World in years, Dinosaur closing. Dinosaur is an opening day Animal Kingdom attraction with a cult following, and it matters because it's one of the last remaining pieces of that park's early identity. The ride is famous for being loud, dark, and intense, and for families, it's often the attraction that surprises them with how scary it feels. Disney has announced that Dinosaur will close permanently on February 2nd, with February 1st as the final day to ride. The reason this is happening is that Disney is making room for a new Tropical Americas area that will include Encanto and Indiana Jones experiences later. For 2026 planners, this is a very clear decision point, because if Dinosaur is on your must-do list, you need to go before the closure. Now, let's talk entertainment and events because for a lot of families, the best Disney trips are not just about rides. They're about the special ticket nights and seasonal vibes. Disney After Hours is returning in 2026, and if you've never done it, the simplest explanation is that you're paying for time and space. These events typically give you lower waits, a cooler nighttime feel, and the satisfaction of enjoying rides without spending your whole day in lines. For parents, it can also be a strategic play where you treat the day as lighter and then go hard at night when the park feels more manageable. The planning reality is that after-hours events can sell out on popular dates, so you'll want to watch for ticket availability and not assume you can grab them last minute. Disney is also bringing back Cool Kids Summer, which is Disney's way of injecting extra pop-up energy into the parks during peak season. Summer crowds can feel heavy, and smaller entertainment moments can make the day feel more spontaneous and less like a checklist. These offerings can include dance parties and character moments to give you something fun to do while you're moving between major rides. Now, let's cool things down with the water parks because 2026 has an important perk returning that many people will want to build into their trip schedule. Guests of Disney Resort hotels get free water park admission on their check-in day, which can be a huge value if you plan things right. The trick is that this only matters if you actually use it. So a smart strategy is an afternoon water park arrival day, followed by a relaxed dinner at Disney Springs or your resort. Disney has said the free water park admission perk will be available during summer, with exact dates to be shared later. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon is scheduled to be open through February 14th, 2026, with Blizzard Beach reopening on February 15th, 2026. Blizzard Beach reopening matters because it gives families a reliable half-day option that isn't a theme park, which can be a lifesaver during longer trips. If you're traveling with kids who need a slower day, building a water park into the plan can actually increase your odds of enjoying the rest of the trip. Now, let's talk H2O Glow Nights at Typhoon Lagoon, because this is one of the most loved seasonal hard-ticket events Disney runs outside the four main parks. Disney has announced the return of H2O Glow Night for 2026, meaning Typhoon Lagoon's closure will not be a lengthy one. H2O Glow is essentially a nighttime party at the water park with lighting, music, and a different energy than a standard daytime visit. For adults, it can feel like a genuinely fun date night option. And for families, it's often a core memory because the park looks completely different after dark. The event adds a unique nightlife option that doesn't require staying in the theme parks late, which can matter if you're balancing early mornings. Now, let's move to resorts, because 2026 has a dining return that will matter to a very specific crowd, and that crowd is anyone who loves slow, classic Grand Floridian vibes. Garden View Lounge at the Grand Floridian is reopening in 2026, and Disney has described it as returning with a refreshed look that matches the resort's updated lobby design. Disney has also said the space will offer a new tea experience with whimsical Disney touches, which is a big signal that they're leaning into the Grand Floridian's signature afternoon tea identity. For trip planning, this is the kind of thing you schedule as a midday break because it pairs perfectly with a Magic Kingdom day and the monorail loop. And if you're traveling with a group that includes non-park people, experiences like this can make everyone feel included even if they're not chasing thrill rides. Now, let's head to Disney Springs, because 2026 is bringing a new kind of game night experience that could become a major evening option for groups. Level 99 is opening at Disney Springs in 2026, and Disney is positioning it as a huge social gaming experience with dozens of challenge rooms and competitive games. Level 99 is designed for groups, which makes it a strong option for extended families and friend trips who want something that feels active without being a theme park ticket. Disney has described it as having over 60 challenge rooms, duels, and art hunts, plus food options like Detroit-style pizza and a large bar space. If you're planning a trip with teens or adults who want nightlife without clubs, this is exactly the kind of Springs edition that can upgrade your non-park nights. Now let's zoom back out and cover EPCOT's festival calendar, because festivals are one of the biggest reasons people choose certain months for their trips. EPCOT Festivals can change your entire vibe, as they affect food options, entertainment, crowds, and even how long you want to stay in the park. First up is Festival of the Arts, which is the festival that feels like EPCOT's creative season, with food studios, art booths, and visual experiences everywhere. Disney has announced that the festival will run January 16th through February 23rd. If you're planning a winter trip, this festival is a strong choice because it brings a lot of energy without the brutal summer heat. A smart strategy during Festival of the Arts is to treat it like an EPCOT sampling day, because you can build your whole itinerary around trying a small number of booths instead of rushing rides. Next is Flower and Garden, and this is the festival that makes EPCOT feel like it's breathing again after winter. Disney has announced Flower and Garden runs March 4th through June 1st in 2026. This festival is a big draw for families because the topiaries are instantly photo-friendly, and for enthusiasts, it's a must because the park looks completely different. If you want a planning edge, weekdays during Flower and Garden can feel significantly calmer than weekends, because locals love this festival. Now the heavyweight is Food and Wine, which is usually the festival that dominates late summer and fall, and it's a major reason EPCOT stays crowded for months. Disney has confirmed Food and Wine returns in 2026, but the specific dates are something you'll want to watch closely once announced by Disney. The core appeal is that it turns EPCOT into a choose-your-own-adventure park where you eat, browse, and hop in rides when timing works. If you're going with picky eaters, Food and Wine is great because booths create lots of small portion options, which can be easier than committing to full table service meals. And if you're a concert person, this is usually the season where EPCOT's live music lineup becomes a real part of the trip plan. Finally, Festival of the Holidays brings EPCOT into full seasonal mode, and it's one of the best atmosphere events. Disney has confirmed Festival of the Holidays returns in 2026, and the thing to watch for is the exact start date, because that determines when the park flips into holiday offerings. This festival is popular because it blends food with seasonal entertainment, and it tends to pair well with resort-hopping nights to see decorations. Now, let's talk more special holiday events, because special events can be the single biggest deciding factor for when families schedule their trip. Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party is returning in 2026, and the reason it matters is that it changes Magic Kingdom nights, crowd levels, and what you can realistically do without a party ticket. If Halloween season is your thing, the party is typically where you get the most unique seasonal value, because it combines special entertainment, costumes, and limited-time treats. If you're not doing the party, the planning move is to choose non-party nights for Magic Kingdom, because that usually gives you more time and fewer disruptions. For Christmas, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is returning in 2026, and this is often the event families call the most classic Disney of the holiday offerings. The reason Very Merry matters is that it compresses a lot of holiday magic into one ticket, with entertainment, snacks, and a completely different nighttime feel. Jollywood Nights is also returning in 2026, which gives Hollywood studios its own holiday identity and a different vibe. And even beyond tickets, the holiday season is when the entire resort becomes an attraction, because resort lobbies, trees, and themed decor turn non-park time into something memorable. Now, let's bring it home with the simple truth about 2026 at Disney World. The year is shaping up to be a year where classic attractions get meaningful refreshes, Hollywood Studios gets major identity shifts, and Animal Kingdom draws a very clear line between old DinoLand and what's coming next. If you made it this far, comment with the attraction you are most excited for and the one you are going to miss most. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest Disney World news, please subscribe now so you'll never miss an update. See you in the parks in 2026.